Welcome to another edition of A Strange New Pod and our first subspace broadcast of 2022. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, and I believe... Yeah? Is that accurate? Yeah? Okay. That's accurate. Yeah, I'm getting an official ruling from Starfleet Academy that Lieutenant Brittany is the second officer in history to beat the Kobayashi Maru by punning the Klingons into submission. Congratulations, Lieutenant Brittany, for being the one and only officer next to James T. Kirk for beating the Kobayashi Maru.
You don't have a sound for that? There's got to be a sound.
Yeah,
honestly, the Oscar goes to Julian because I saw the rest of you being mad confused at what he was doing, and I was like, I read the outline. This is great. I was like, the acting is impeccable. I believed Karen was shouting something to you.
Oh, boy. Speaking of Lieutenant Brittany, I'm joined, as always, by the best bridge crew this side of the Gamma Quadrant. That's a little insight into this week's episode. Lieutenant Hawk is here. He also took the Kobayashi Maru and tried using his skills as a John Luke impersonator, saying Gowron owed him a favor and was immediately killed and destroyed. Didn't work.
Aww.
The Ensign Admiral of everything, Erin, is here. She shared a barrel of blood wine with the Klingons and almost won them over, but drunkenly hit the transporter button. And we don't know where she wound up, even though she's here on the pod. This is where she wound up.
I mean, I could tell you.
With a hot toddy. It's a long story.
Right.
For another day. And then finally, Commander Giraffe, who, upon telling the Klingons they were from somewhere called the Kelvinverse, immediately destroyed her as well. Welcome to the first show of 2022. Glory to you and your houses.
Woo, 2022, 2021. Get out of here. Get out of here.
I feel like we've been living through a COVID Yashi. Oh
my God.
And we're doing a pretty good job. It feels like a no-win scenario, but we've all survived. And glad to have you guys here with me.
Listen, as long as
it's been a better year.
As long as Tom Paris is with me, I can get through this.
Wait,
thing.
Bring it closer.
I can
bring
get
it
through
closer.
this thing.
Let all the people see it.
They saw it last week. I'm just gonna show it on. No,
it's gorgeous.
I'm gonna see
it out of there
on every pod.
I'm gonna transport that out of your house.
Tom
do you
Paris
cheeky nuggies off of there, or do you only use it for decorative?
It's
purposes?
literally decorative purposes on my desk.
Julian, you get those impossible nuggets.
No, it was
put them
okay.
On there?
These things back in the day. That's a good idea, Erin. Back in the day, like commemorative plates used to cost, I think, like $75, Hawk. Like maybe 100. Yeah. I had them.
You could do it in
like
9 easy payments.
Yeah,
who had
9 easy payments. The Tom Paris plate is $25. That's it. $25. So if it breaks, I'll get a new one. Yeah, get it. It's a steal.
Where do I put
I don't even work for them. I don't even work for Star Trek.
Metal?
Go buy it anyway. Do you want to hear something cool? Star Trek Unlimited, who sells them, featured my picture of him next to on my shoulder. Yeah, on their store. So I thought.
I wanted to ask you, do you have a really good Paramount for it?
Get off my bridge.
That one is certified magic.
Listen, Lady of the Mighty Mountain. We'll get to that.
And I shall make it so.
We'll get it.
Lady of the Mighty Mountain.
NY Rylight's here. He asks us, does this mean Brittany now outranks Harry Kim? Doesn't everyone outrank Harry Kim?
I do in puns, not in pips.
Yes, indeed. Guys, this week on the show, Star Trek Prodigy is back. We're back to being PG, so remember that, Erin. Hawk.
Oh.
I mean, not Hawk, sorry, Eric. No, you could. It's fine. Eric's not here. He actually has a bleep button now, but he's not here. We wish him and his family the very best, going through a bit of a rough situation today. We're thinking about him. He'll be back hopefully next week. Star Trek Prodigy is back. We move along. We review the 6th episode of its freshman season. If you know already why we've been making all the Kobayashi jokes, because the name of the episode was Kobayashi. What happens when Dahl attempts the Kobayashi Maru like 80 times? And who shows up with him? That's the bigger question. Also, when Janeway realizes her memories aren't gone, but classified, what shocking discovery does Gwyn find?
No, dude, I have a shocking discovery. I had to break it to Erin yesterday. This morning. Yeah. She's like, there's no disco. There's no disco today. I was like, woman.
Oh, she didn't know?
I just watched Prodigy. Is there no new disco today?
No new
and
disco
she's like,
today.
I'm revoking your Starfleet card. And I'm like, listen, it's been busy. It's Thursday. I turn it on.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I know.
We
need
break that
5
all down,
episodes a week.
guys. We break that all down.
Read the outline.
Yeah, read the outline. But first, we have some news. In case you missed the announcement on last week's pod, then on New Year's Day, we're going to be hosting, I believe, 3 of the 4 of us are going to be there. Hawk, I don't think you're coming to Mission Chicago. Maybe you're still up in the air. Maybe, possibly. Probably not.
We'll be up in the air playing.
4 of us will,
Hawk.
and maybe Eric. I think Eric is on the fence, the actual fence. We're
He's
going
on
to
the
be
border.
hosting a Lower Decks cosplay photo shoot at the world famous Bean in
The
Chicago.
Bean.
For Mission Chicago, we're going to
Got
create
the
a...
outfit right here.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
We're going to create a Facebook group to get everybody who's in the
Shops
Star
at
Trek
Rise Up.
cosplay community to kind of plan and pick the day that works best for everyone to go meet up at the Bean. We want you to bring your phasers. We want you to bring your tricorders. We're going to take a, kind of like official Starfleet picture. And then we want to do some goofy shit. It's going to be a really good
Been
time.
there, done that.
Yeah. The Bean is awesome.
Take a picture
you've
with
never
the world's
been.
most famous bean. Then you can take a picture with me, the world's second most famous lesbian, and we'll be great.
I love it.
You know what I like about the Bean, and I think I've told you guys this before. The guy who did it, the art installation, I just censored myself, hates that people call it the Bean. It's so funny, but it's like, come on, dude, just get
They
over it. It
always
looks
do.
like a
Isn't
bean.
it called the Bean?
But then they never give us
No, well,
a proper
It is
name.
colloquially, but that's not what it's called. I'll look it up. I forget. It has like a name.
This
That's
is
like
the
that
first I
one-
would know of it having a real name.
That's like that
Ooh,
new
well,
metal installation
there
in New
you
York.
go.
I say new, but I mean like just pre-COVID, where it like looks like a hive, and they're like they don't have a name for it yet, and I just keep calling it like the hive.
Oh,
and they're like, "It's not a
in
name."
Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
So it's
called
like, what is that?
Cloudgate.
That's actually,
Oh, because
Ca-
it reflects the cloud. Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
I
on
like
a
the
shiny
Bean.
day. We can go shine the bean.
We can go shine the Bean.
Oh wait,
guys,
it does say that the artist initially disliked but later grew fond of.
yeah,
I
see,
revoked
there
my
you go.
entire
There you
argument.
go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Brittany, what's going on social media? We got something new going on.
You know, we heard everybody talking about this thing called
Jesus.
TikTok. So we're there now. We're gonna bring you funny and interesting Trek content on TikTok since there's a little bubble in
still-
there, but we
I
can
still
make
don't
it
have
poppin'.
TikTok. I still don't have TikTok, but now I have Instagram.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you
Oh,
go.
Moving up in the world.
I follow. Wait, I follow your art account. Do you have a secondary one, or
I
is it
have
the
a
art
Giraffe account now.
one? Oh, wait, are we,
Giraffe is the
we should be friends.
captain now.
Hey,
are you going to do TikTok dances?
I've never done a TikTok dance.
I'm not going to.
Are you going to?
Not unless they're Star Trek oriented.
They're gonna be. She'll do some Star
Well,
Trek
you know me,
oriented
it's
TikTok
gonna be my normal
dances.
humor. It's gonna be my pun. It's gonna be my goofy videos, weird things I find that are Star Trek related.
Real
here for it.
real quick, want to say thanks to Takako. She just resubscribed for 9 months, and she's also currently on a 9-month streak. So thank you, Takako. You rock.
Woo.
Thanks for being
Thank
a part
you.
Give
of
us something to
our
Takako
collective.
about.
We also have a couple of birthdays. We have one Star Trek character birthday, and we have one real birthday. And remember, it's Hawk. Whose birthday is it today?
Today would be the birthday of Commander Spock.
Indeed. Commander, Captain, Ambassador. He's had a lot of titles. Fitting that it's the character's birthday with how much he was featured in this week's episode of Prodigy. Pretty cool.
Right?
And then we're also remembering the late great Erin Eisenberg, our Nog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of my
he's-
top 5 errands.
Wait, am I in the top 5?
I like how you said all first, then you're like, am I in the top?
Oh goodness.
Yes, you are. Do you like how I kept you waiting?
And then guys, we teased on Instagram and Twitter and on our Discord that we have a very special guest joining us on our January 27th edition of the pod. Giraffe, do you want to reveal who our special guest is?
I do. So our special guest is going to be Nami Melumad.
Yeah.
Everybody knows her. She's the composer for the Prodigy music, right?
Yeah.
So
And it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
it's absolutely incredible. I think it's top 3 of the best a
Of the
Star
best
Trek
Trek music.
theme from one. Yeah, it's incredible.
The
I ain't
music
even
on
hella mad.
Prodigy is just
Speaking
yeah.
of incredible women, I'm really enjoying the fact that not for the situation, but the current moment. I think this might be the first time the women outnumber the men on this podcast.
No, because I had a show with
I was gonna say.
Brittany and Giraffe, just the
With the
three
main
of us.
pod, the main
Yeah.
pod.
It was the main
Yes, the
pod.
three
It
of us.
was the main pod. It
Giraffe
was
was
the-
here.
What do you mean?
It was Giraffe and Brittany and me. They outranked. It was the two of them
okay.
and me.
Okay.
I thought you
Hey,
meant
and
the
if we
other
count
pod, which
pictures
you
of
meant.
Uhura
No,
in the
this one.
background, actually, there's 4 women here right now.
Yeah.
No,
No,
5.
sorry, I thought you meant when one of the
Hulk has
other
it too.
podcasts was on. My bad.
No. Us. No, it was just me, Brittany, and Giraffe on one show.
Well, then we continue the great tradition.
It's a great trend. Why not? I love it.
Beverly in the background.
Oh yeah, Beverly's there
see?
too. Yeah.
We got Beverly, we got Uhura, we got a lot of women right here now.
By the way,
Julian,
guys,
change
I'm-
your background.
I've got me.
I am changing my background. I forgot to do this. Everybody can see my screen. I don't care because I was going to do this before the show, but I got busy in honor of this week's episode. Got to do that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you and Hawk has that
Nice.
too.
Yeah, he's got the one from this week's. I got the one from Lower Decks from Boimler being on there, but it all works.
Would you be able to walk in the background and hide behind the chairs strategically?
I think so. I think that works.
Is that how that green screen works?
I think that tracks. We can't wait to have Nami on. I've been talking to her over email. She's excited to come on. We're going to talk about the music track, music of Prodigy. Super excited for that. Guys, almost showtime. Before we get to it, Erin, we need to thank our awesome patron collective members at the Ready Room level and above.
Ready to do that.
Do it.
We are going to thank Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Wee, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, and Laura Linderman. Oh, I think that
you
was my
did
best
it.
one. My
No,
best
you
one.
did it. That
Well, I
was
gonna say,
great.
the only thing that throws you off is that
job.
you go from people with like first name, last name to Mark, and you almost said Mark,
Mark.
Fernanda, and you're like, no.
Mark, you need to give us like
Flip it up.
some weird fake last name just to make it even.
Mark
We can
Burnett.
do Mark and then backwards, so it's like
Voyager.
Mark Carm.
Or
I have
maybe
no
some
idea if
small
Mark
code
Burnett's a good
behind it.
person or not. So maybe
Mark
not
Mark.
Mark
I want a
Burnett.
string of numbers in there one day, and then we're just like, who is that? What
Right.
Borg jumped into the chat?
Tricks.
Real quick before we get into the Strange New Loop, you guys know you could head to our website. We're not going to give you the spiel. We just completely revamped the patron tiers and have some awesome stuff coming up. Go to strangenewpod.com. Check out the article. Real quick, we do want to announce, in case you didn't see it on the Discord, Brittany and Giraffe, a cool new podcast exclusive for our patrons series coming up with collaboration with Star Trek Discovery Pod.
Did
New
it
pod, who
take me
dis?
a minute to like think about it?
Yeah, she's like,
Yes.
what did I agree to?
What did I do
ma'am, It
now?
was like your idea.
Another
did I
all
do?
ladies adventure.
Yes,
Yay!
it's the Star Trek book club, specifically
Eh.
with 3 graphic novels, and it's gonna be fun.
I've been talking about Star Trek comics. I'm so happy
They're
we're
good.
doing
They're
this.
fun.
It's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you-
they're incredible.
And you guys are
I
going to
have
be
them on
doing
my
that.
wall here.
Yeah. You guys are going to be doing that with Mariah from Star Trek Discovery Pod. It's going to be available to their patrons and our patrons. It's going to be really cool. On our show, on our end, we are going to be giving away a copy of each one after each one of those podcasts. So that's part of that one lucky patron. will
That's
win a
really
copy of
cool.
those.
I love
So-
that.
Warning:
Yeah.
it'll be extremely graphic. Novel.
All right, enough
you guys there for a
business.
second.
There was a lot of business. It's a new year. We had a lot to talk about. Let's get in to the first Strange New Loop of 2022. And the question is kind of going to be similar to the one that we had a few weeks ago when Tilly's shuttle full of cadets crash landed. In this week's episode, we see Spock, Dr. Crusher, Uhura, Odo, and Scotty join Dahl's crew. In Star Trek 09, Jim also had Uhura and Bones by his side. So the question is, who would you choose for your chance at beating the Kobayashi Maru? Who would be your bridge crew? And Twitch, please let us know your answers as well. Guys, as Captain Pike would say, hit it.
Easiest answer of my life.
Brittany, tell us.
The space gaze from Disco plus Mariner. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
If I can add one more, Jadzia Dax, because she's an honorary gay. Let's go. The metaphors were all there. Between everyone's chaos and the fact that statistically you can't kill us all, Without ruining viewership, we'll survive.
There you go. I like it. So that would be what? Adira, Gray, Culber, Stamets.
Culber.
Are we
Like, who's
counting?
confirmed?
Are we counting
Are
Owo
we counting
and
head cannons?
Yeah.
They're there in my head.
and
They're all
Detmer?
gay in my mind.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
all gay in my mind.
If they're not actually a gay character, they're probably gay in real life. So like,
If you're on AO3, they are all gay.
There's a lot of
Sure.
if
science.
you're on AO3, everyone's gay.
There's a lot of science on your crew. Who wants to go next? Hit it,
I got
Erin.
an answer. I mean, you said Mariner, and I feel that, but I feel like Michael Burnham is the most capable Starfleet officer of all time. Like, she's smart, she's physical, she's the captain. She's the captain now, as Giraffe would say. And I can't think of anybody else who would be a better person to have your back.
I chose her last time, so I couldn't pick her this time. I was like, can't give them the same count. I love her though. She doesn't die, so like,
Hell
who
no.
better?
So
She
you
said
would
he's
just
gonna
you would
die.
just bring Michael with you? It'd be like the you and Michael tag team.
You only need Michael.
I mean, oh wait, I can get a whole crew.
You get
You
like
were there for
Yeah.
the ride.
You
It's
need a
like
whole
Doctor
crew.
Who.
You need-
You're
yeah,
the
you need-
companion.
Okay, my whole crew is gonna be Michael, and then I'm definitely taking Mariner if I get a second choice. And then if I get more crew, I mean B'Elanna. And then if we're gonna take anybody else, ooh, this one's rough. I think I'm taking Riker just because I think he'd be amusing to have around.
nice.
He's
I
just
like it.
there.
Yeah.
He's my like little jester guy.
Yep. I like it.
Nice.
All right.
All good picks. Yeah, I guess if we can take captains, yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I want to allow captains, but let's say
He's
that.
like all captains.
Let's say-
I
Nothing
do
but
what I
captains.
want. She wasn't a captain the whole time.
Well,
true.
Takako has picked a captain now. Okay, so captains are allowed. I don't like it, but I'll accept it. Go.
If I can pick anybody, including captains, I think you guys are missing out on an obvious choice, and that would be Lorca. Mirror Universe Lorca.
Crazy
Oh,
Because he
motherfucker.
would do anything to survive.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need to
Erin
beep
didn't even make it
her.
past the
Write it
strange
down.
new loop.
Erin failed.
Beep.
She failed.
You're gonna have to beat that. Sorry, Julie.
Oh, did she curse?
Yeah, about Lorca.
Oh,
As
about
soon as she heard
that.
Lorca's name, she's like, "Oh, that." And
I'll
we're like,
edit it. It'll be edited in post. All right.
Great actor. The fact
I
that
believe
you can hate him so
Takako
much as a
that
character.
Hawk said
Yeah.
Mirror Lorca. Mirror Lorca.
Yeah, it has to be Mirror Lorca.
All right. Who else you got?
Mhm.
Probably the usual suspects. And that I gotta have data on the crew and that fast calculations.
Smart.
Let me think. God, Burnham is such a good choice.
Mhm.
See, everybody wants
Her
Michael
on
Burnham.
your
Yeah,
crew.
she's just so,
There's no,
you know,
there's no scenario where you win without her on your crew. So you just
Right.
pick
Hey,
her automatically.
There's nothing
it's-
wrong with all of us picking the same person.
That's true. And like, who better? Like in an encounter with the Klingons.
Yep.
100%.
Valid.
Agreed.
The Vulcan hello.
She survived
hello.
already.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Vulcan, hello. I'm never gonna lose that.
Pew, pew.
To round it out, engineers are a little tough because I'm trying to think who would be the best one in that.
B'Elanna,
Mhm.
Balana, yeah, I know.
my queen.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, Stamets is
I don't
great.
want Geordi. I don't really want Scotty. I love them both, but yeah, it's got to be B'Elanna Torres up for engineering.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Giraffe.
Okay. So.
Every Spock.
Spock.
Every iteration.
She's like animated Spock.
Nimoy,
Kelvin Spock.
Quinto.
Nimoy.
Oh no,
Peck.
it's Ethan
Ah.
Peck, 100%.
I
We're all
posted
there.
a very funny meme about that, but that's another conversation.
Buy
Anyway,
the standee.
I thought that's what you
Twitter.
were giving me for Christmas, so I didn't buy it.
You think I bought you a big Spock?
I would.
A
We
big
would.
Spock. So, communication, uhura, come on. Then,
mhm.
first officer, Burnham. Then, pilot, Mariner, because, she's going to send that message, right? Security, Keller, because we never think of her, and she's great.
Was she a
Not Starfleet,
Starfleet
whatever.
officer?
I can respect this.
I'll make her.
I'll make
I'll make her a
I'll
Starfleet
promote
officer.
her.
I like it.
Field commission.
Field Commission of
Yo, I love this.
Specialists. Oh, I love it.
Exactly.
I'm liking everybody's cruise. This is nice.
And engineering, Rutherford. Why not?
I dig that.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pollard. Come on.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Check.
Dig it.
I have it.
All right.
Bless
I'm gonna
them.
read some awesome Twitch answers here. Takako has, as the commanding officer, so we do have captains here. Christopher Pike. Hell yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Have to edit myself out. Heck
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Heck yeah. Kieran Reese at Ops, Data Nav, Kayla. Oh, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. XO,
Yep.
Kieran Reese, Ops, Data Nav, Kayla Detmer, great choice. Engineering, Jet Reno, yes.
Oh, Jen.
Yes.
See, this is one that I thought long
See,
and
Jet
hard
was
about.
the one we were thinking
Yeah.
of because we're like,
I was thinking about this
character or the
answer
person?
long and hard yesterday. Security Wharf. I don't know if I'd have a Klingon on the bridge dealing with this testy Klingon situation. Tactical,
Why not?
Yeah.
because they don't like him
Jet
very much.
Reno and
Tactical.
Geordi to meet each other.
Tasha
How
Yar.
interesting would that be?
Comms? Me? Okay, I think, right? Science, Sylvia Tilly. Medical, Julian Bashir. Ooh, interesting choice. And then CNS.
Worst
Okay.
choice.
Counselor, Esri Dax. Sidekick, Murph. Love it.
Wait, Giraffe, what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say if you don't want a Klingon on the bridge, then I put Mariner in security and I get Owoshikun as pilot.
There you go.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And then it's all black women? Is that
there
all
you
black?
go.
It's all black
When I was
women
thinking of my
crew!
list in my mind, I was like, what am I doing first? Am I picking my faves?
SMK wrote
Sorry.
Medical, Colber. Science, Stamets. Engineer, Geordi. Security, Reed from Enterprise. And Helmsman, Tom Paris. Great choices.
Mhm.
And then Haven wrote, oh, there's a lot tonight. Good job, Twitch. CO, Prime Kirk. XO, Kelvin Spock. Ops, Harry Kim. Nav, Detmer. Engineering, LaForge. Security, Odo, yeah. Science, Adira. And Medical, Bashir. Good choices. I'm loving this.
Right? It's fun to hear what people
Yeah.
This is a good question.
NYR Light wrote Captain, Cisco. Yes. First Officer, Saru. Science, Spock. Tactical, Worf. Khan, Detmer. Medical, Colber. Engineer, Scotty. Good choices. Good choices. All right. My turn. As my XO, yeah, Michael Burnham. She's gonna be there. At the helm is. I'm not gonna do all the stations, but I just have my ideal. Tom Paris. He can fly anything. I want him at the helm
He has
every day.
flown anything.
Yeah.
Lizard babies.
Lizard babies.
Amazing.
I would absolutely 100% have B'Elanna working that warp core, making sure that if I do some crazy maneuvers, the ship's gonna stay together. And then I want at medical, I need some calm collectiveness, so I need to be able to look at Hugh Colber from time to time. And then
He's like shirtless or not.
shirtless
gotta
or
look.
not, it's
He,
fine.
he does seem to be the most realistic doctor they've ever
Yep.
put in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I would just want as like someone like kind of like a specialist. It doesn't like rank doesn't matter in this situation. I would really love to have Ro Laren in my ear for like out of the box thinking along with Michael. And I'd actually really like Chakotay there because he got Voyager out of so many situations when Janeway was either preoccupied or captured or sometimes like gone crazy because of the stress of being 75,000 light years away from Earth. So those people.
I think this is going to be Chakotay's maybe chance to like spread his wings a little bit in this show. I was like, Giraffe, I sent you this text. How hilarious is it that maybe Chakotay got stranded in the Delta Quadrant twice?
It's a little brutal.
That would be terrible.
It's a little brutal. We'll
I was
see.
gonna say I'd bring Chakotay on to be like one of those calendars that you flip open and it's like a cute little saying every day because he would just, come up to you every day and be like, "My people have a saying." And you'd be like, "Oh God."
I'm going to be talking
What
a lot
now?
about Voyager when we get into our episode thoughts.
We
Some
love
really
Voyager.
cool things happen with this episode. Let's get
Voy,
into it.
voy.
Let's get into it. Let's
Voy.
get into it. And I just want to say thank you, Twitch. Your answers were awesome. Thank you, Collective. Let's get into it. Episode 106 of Star Trek Prodigy. Kobayashi. Giraffe, you're up first. Your thoughts on this week's episode.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you think I screamed at 6 a.m.?
It's a 5 and
Um,
5.5789.2.
Your husband?
I know you go all the way to 11.
I heard you from
I
the
go,
East Coast.
yeah. So 6 a.m. I watch the episode and I'm like, okay. And I see them like choose like from all the deltas, you know, and I'm like,
Eric, please.
Wait, Giraffe, can I
I've
cut
seen
you
him,
off
like,
real quick? You have a
Yes.
fancy new mic stand. I'm just noticing
do.
this.
Oh,
Very nice.
us.
Christmas present from someone? To yourself?
yes, yes.
I love it.
Because it's very cold on my legs, the mic stand. And I keep like bumping it everywhere. So now it's by its own magic.
Now you can grab it when you get serious and you can be like, look at me.
I'm the captain now. Anyway,
Swing it.
continue. Sorry.
So yeah, I was like, oh come on, Erin. I know you're a good person. And then they populate the bridge. I was like, yeah! It was so great. Sure, it was not enough. I wanted more, but
It's never enough.
never enough. But it was so great to hear like the original lines and to have the actual Kobayashi Maru like in Star Trek 2, you know, like the crew is here. I mean, it was fantastic. Good fan service. And I know every time I've been, oh, it's good for the kids. But I was like, I'm ready to be a parent now. Thank you,
Yep.
Prodigy.
You're like, it's good for me.
It's good. Check. Box ticked. Okay.
You're gonna start walking around hunched over being like, should I make a progeny? Your husband's gonna be like, please no.
He would be into that. He would be
No, he
so
would,
into
yeah.
I'm absolutely into
I'm
that.
giving you some ideas, but
So, and another moment that I really liked is when like Dal went like all like chaos.
It's
And people are like, that's how kids operate. It's like, no, that's how I operate.
exactly. You ever gone pure chaos mode before? We all have.
Pure chaos. Like,
you know that, like, and I know Eric feels this way too. Like, we haven't been the biggest fans of Doll. Holy moly, I loved his energy this episode so much. Got crazy, like, Heath Ledger Joker vibes from him during that, like, where he went crazy at the end.
Some people just want to watch
Agent
the
of
universe
Chaos.
burn.
It was awesome. I loved that.
the other things that I've been very tired this week, and I was like trying to compute the dates, and I was like, what is happening with the date?
Mhm.
17 years. I still have not figured that out.
I felt like the
But-
SpongeBob caveman meme where he's like, "Whew,"
I'm like,
you know, and everything's swirling around him. I'm like,
yeah, absolutely. Like when you see like all the numbers, like that
Like
was
Mr.
me
Krabs.
watching Prodigy.
yeah.
I was like,
What does it
wait,
mean?
17 years ago.
Like
How
time
many?
travel.
What? Is that possible?
You know, I am so glad I rewatched the episode before I did this because, like, I must have looked down at my phone and that and just looked back up and it's like, huh, he's creating a new child. Huh.
No, yeah, it was a 17-year ago flashback.
But
He's like, my first
ex-
progeny betrayed me.
excellent episode. I just hope that Discovery is gonna come back after the break with an as strong episode as what Prodigy just delivered. I can't wait for next week. It's great. I have many things to say, so I'll wait for the questions that I have not
Love
read.
it. Love it.
Nice.
Erin, you're up.
I mean, at first I was surprised to find out there was no Discovery this week. But
Get with the program.
listen, it's been a chaotic time. But no, I really liked the episode. I think the thing that's interesting for me, at least, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I watch it and, you know, I watch it through, I know it's a kid's show, but I watch it through my own lens. I'm
Yeah.
35, right? And I see it, and then I have like, I always have immediate feelings about it, but then like through the day, they sort of like simmer. And then like even talking about it with Giraffe, or I was texting Rob, and you know, you have to put it also through the lens of this show is for kids. Like it's for us too, but it's for the kids. We're building the next generation of the next generation. Ha ha ha. But I at first was kind of annoyed that Dahl was still going down this like I'm the captain vibe, because clearly Gwyn is the leader. Like clearly she is, I think, set up to be that better character. But I was surprised how much afterwards, thinking about it, the lesson that Dahl learned, and he seems, and it makes me think back to the older episodes, that he goes into things very headstrong, but he does take them in. Like when the lesson is taught, he hears it and he doesn't, because some people don't do this. Like I remember being young and the lesson was clear, but it just went right by me. But he sees the lesson and he takes it in. He seems to be growing from it. So I don't necessarily see him still as like the captain. And I think that those who pursue leadership in the way that he generally does are not suited for it. But I do think we're seeing growth from him that is going to make him continue to be a better character, and better for all the others too, because I think the others around him also kind of see that. I don't know. I think it was a really interesting episode. I really liked seeing Janeway and her reaction to part of her memory, or the computer is missing, or now we find out that it's being kept because it's classified. And every episode she seems more and more like a real person to me. Like it's not Janeway, but I think we're going towards a doctor situation where she seems to be free thinking. Like, why is the hologram continuing to drink coffee? Why, when she sees Chakotay, does she have such a reaction? Like, I mean, even if it is a surprise, shouldn't she just be like, oh, Chakotay, didn't expect that? No, she had like a visceral reaction to that.
Yep.
And I think that through this series, we're going to find that she is more independent and becomes maybe her own Janeway, a la the Doctor. So I feel like they're really planting these seeds. And we also see that Murph apparently can just like eat destructive things and be cool, and it's
Loved it.
totally fine.
Loved it.
The Chekhov's gun, man. You know they're gonna do something with this.
I'm here for it.
I think D.
So-
Bradley Baker has been blown up too many times in Clone Wars, so they're like, it'd be really funny
If he
just
didn't.
you could eat grenades and nothing could kill you. And I'm just like,
I'm
go off, D.
We're gonna get over the fact that they took the guy that can make any and all voices and is so accomplished, and they gave him the voice that's like,
They gave
It's
him the
majestic.
tiniest little fart, and it was
Yep.
glorious.
yep. So
You know,
I
all
really
the
enjoyed
Drekkies
it.
are going to be like, there is a fart joke on Star Trek. How dare they?
Oh,
yeah. Oh my God, the
Ruined
holodeck's
it.
not like that. Blur, blur, blur.
The betrayal.
Yes, this isn't my Star Trek. Wah. But anyway, I loved it. I want to hear what you guys think. Tell me more.
Hawk, tell us more.
it was so amazing getting into that. I mean, like after that kind of long absence that we had, I thought maybe this, kind of maybe have to feel my way into this. No. And the fact that, we keep saying it's for kids, it's for kids. Is it for kids? No, it's for us. It's Star Trek fans.
Hawk said, nah.
I wish
I
I
know.
hadn't seen the photos of the of the Bridge of the D for it, in advance, because that would have been amazing just to see it. But
Yeah.
it was the Bridge of the D.
Yeah. It was one of those unsolicited D pics I didn't want,
Right.
I never do, but this was one where I was not expecting. Julian was like, do I bleep that?
I don't think I will. No.
That's for you to find out later because it's not
No.
inappropriate.
Leave it in.
Leaving it in.
Oh, it looked good. I mean, like just even animated, it looks so good.
Can we talk about how good in some of the close-up shots the animation of Beverly Crusher was? Like that
Amazing.
was Beverly
Amazing.
Crusher. It was amazing.
Oh, it was so
It's like
good.
borderline mocap of her,
hmm
Yeah.
which they could have done or recorded scenes of and then drawn on top.
Big
of her.
Red.
Big Red.
Gorgeous.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Where to continue? Yeah, it was a great way of getting back into the series, and that the part of it was why it was so good was because it was so laid back after what happened in the last one, and that it's the kids exploring the holodeck for the very first time, which was great, and had a couple of really nice Easter eggs for us. What else? God, it was just a good episode. I love what you said about Dahl and that. Yeah, I mean that energy at the end and that. Just to relate, I got Miles Morales for Christmas. I hadn't played that.
So
Yes.
good.
Anyways, that was me after 2.5 hours. I'm fighting the same like one battle
Yeah.
Yep.
again.
Like again, everybody
Again.
goes boiler mode. That's what I love about this episode. It's like Boimler versus the Borgs. He's like, again.
Oh
and
yeah,
again.
I thought that too.
Yeah,
That's
it's
me and
so
Brittany
nice.
playing boss fights in Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Okay.
I
Kenna,
know.
Still haven't finished. I
That
need to
game
go
is
back to it.
literally the Kobayashi Maru on the PS5. Yeah.
I'm glad to see he's actually learning. I think this. Hopefully, this is the first of many episodes in that which this character actually develops from being just an annoying little kid who's a self-appointed captain to being somebody who could actually have leadership material.
Yeah.
To go on, I felt so bad for Gwyn and that just seeing her like everything she went through in that last episode. I'm glad they didn't just brush that off and that, like, because she was in a full-blown depression. Serotonin levels are
Yeah, I love that
down.
they said, like, other than a low serotonin. And I was just like, ooh, honey, that's depression.
Oh, that is so
We all
depression.
there.
I love the evolving mystery in that regarding the diviner and the species. I'm trying to remember the species name. The Vondukat?
Yeah, I think so. Vondukat, yeah, or something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that, like, they're that they are the very last of their species, and the mystery that somehow the diviner was involved in probably the creation of the proto star.
Something, right? It's bizarre. Yeah.
It's all
And
vague.
Yep.
The numbers.
They vague booked it.
That's the way to do it, though. Keeps the mystery alive.
Yep.
Just to it's another fantastic episode in that, and I am so glad kids are getting into this and that, because I love seeing people posting pics of them watching this with their kids.
Mhm.
Nice. Awesome.
I'd post a pic of me watching it with my cat, but it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah.
I think you should
People are like,
post it anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
I should.
Brittany, you're up.
I am a doll sympathizer. Y'all know that from the beginning. I was defending this boy left and right. And I'm glad, because the arc is just beautiful. If I had to say one thing about the show, it's trust and believe in the good Erin. We love Erin. He's doing everything right. It's fantastic. Like, the animation, we've already talked about it every week, and we will forever, that it's gorgeous. But the characters and the writing, like, this is some of the best, like, writing and characters in a kids focused show. Like, and there's a lot of really good kids focused program right now, and I know I talked about last time that we're in this golden age of animation, but this is just going to show that right after you have this huge, like, monumental sort of like hiatus and all these very, like, serious things happen, a lot of people said, like, oh, the show's a little too dark for my kids, etc. You then get this, like, nice little segue where it's like the kids are learning about stuff. They don't know what a holodeck is. They're still learning about a test of what it means to be a good captain. And as kids, you have these different notions about what it means to be a hero, or what it means to be this sort of person or that sort of person. So I liked seeing not even just Doll interact with that, but, like, Jankum Pog even was like, oh, this will be, like, this is just a game. We're going to do this and it's going to be great. And I'm just ripping on you because, I'm here to pick on you because I don't think you're a good captain. But I loved the way that they show the other characters jump in. And I know we're going to discuss more when the questions happen, but just the way that he, like, randomly picks, because he doesn't know who any of these people are. He's just like, give me the best, because he doesn't know what any of it means. And you get, like, these specific characters that you're just like, oh my god, I'm so glad this person showed up. Like, every person that appeared, you're just like, this is amazing. So I love the chaos. I love the pure chaos, because when you're obsessed with trying to do something or being the best, and you're stuck in that mental state where you're like, I have to do better, I have to keep doing this over and over again, like, sometimes you need to step back and, like, listen to other people's advice or take a moment to reflect. And I like that it showed that Doll did it and he learns from it, because at the end of the day, they're kids, they're gonna learn. And I know we've already talked about it, so I feel like I'm just repeating everybody. But the way that they do it is really well done. And then seeing, like, the little, like, nuances with this Janeway and the Chakotay appearance and, like, the tension there, you're just like, oh man, Chakotay was the head of the ship before it went down. Like, you knew he was gonna be in the show, but you didn't know exactly how.
I don't know. I
So
knew
that
he was going to be the
that was
captain,
so
but it was still
exciting.
really
Yeah, but,
cool.
like,
It was still really cool.
The way it was
Yeah.
set up and introduced,
Yeah.
it's like such a good episode
Yeah.
ending where I was like, I felt like a kid again, where I was like, I want the next episode already. I gotta wait a whole nother
And-
week for my Saturday morning
that-
cartoon.
Is that a new Starfleet uniform?
Yet again. Yep,
Oh,
it is.
I didn't even
Holographic.
think about that.
Yep.
I loved it.
The new Starfleet
Yeah.
uniform just dropped, baby.
Oh God.
Ah, let's go,
Just in time for
eBay.
the con.
It actually reminded me of like the cadet uniform when they're doing the Kobayashi Maru in Star Trek '09 a little bit. I'm gonna speak about this episode a lot from the kid's point of view because I watched this with my kid, and this episode is a really big deal this week. For one thing, Erin, and I don't know if he listens. I know he follows us on Twitter and likes our stuff. If you are listening, I already said it to you privately on Twitter. You knocked this out of the park. So congrats. This was fan service done in like the best possible way, in a way that adults could enjoy this episode, but still make it exciting for kids. Now, Erin, when you were on our show, you promised that this kind of stuff was coming. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, but more stuff for adults, but also a way to make Prodigy kind of a gateway series for kids into other Trek. Well, guess what, my friend? It worked tenfold. Not only is my daughter obsessed with Captain Janeway, immediately following the episode, she asked me, Daddy, can we watch more Janeway? And I said, well, yes, honey, we can. And we started Voyager, and she loves it.
Yay!
And
Nice.
about halfway into episode 1, she goes, Daddy, Janeway's really tough. And I'm like, girl,
You don't even know.
oh my God.
God, you're of hell.
Oh, the fact
love
that this has now is the gateway that he thought that it kind of would be for kids to get into other Trek. I'm so happy as a dad. And then tonight before the pod, she's like, can we finish Caretaker? And I was like, yes, we can. And she was into it, and she was asking questions. And, you know, like there were points where like, you know, they were like walking up the catwalk trying to get out of the underground where the Ocampa live. And like, oh, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. And like when Tom is rescuing Chakotay and they're about to fall, she's like, no, they're not going to make it. And she got all excited when they made it, and just, she's really into it. I hope
Did it freak her out when they got the needle in the chest?
No,
And Harry
no.
was like,
She was super
She was
into
like,
it.
"That's normal."
She was just super into the episode and was just watched part 1 last night and part 2 tonight. And she was just super into it. The other thing that she was super into, she knows who Spock is. So when Spock wound up on the bridge, she was like, Daddy, it's Spock. And you know how that connects to Voyager when Tuvok comes onto the screen. And I'm like, guess what, Sess? The Tuvok, he's the same species as Spock. And she goes, oh. And it's just like these awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you point at Uhura and said like, look,
Yes.
this is Giraffe's mom? No.
No, this is Giraffe.
Just really, that's Giraffe. No, I did not.
Yeah, I wanted
SMK,
to
I'm
ask
not
if
going
the
to
other
tell.
crew like made her also interested in the other shows, because I know I've been over your house. She's seen the other.
Yeah, no,
parts of the other shows,
not
but-
yet. Like she was most excited about like Janeway and wanting to
Valid.
watch Voyager. We'll see about the others. She's super into Spock. Like she loves Spock, so that's cool.
Good girl. Good
SMK,
girl.
I'm not going to tell my kids about Tuvix, and we're going to skip that episode altogether. Anyway,
No, I want to hear Cecily's opinion.
No, I know,
on
I know.
Tuvix.
On my personal front, this was just an awesome episode of Star Trek. The fan service was awesome. I'm going to talk about all the Easter eggs in a little bit. I loved that, like, I finally connected and felt something for Dahl in this episode. I love the fact that Janeway is slowly figuring out that she has like this classified information in her mainframe, and that, you know, she does react to Chakotay being on the bridge. Murph is my spirit animal. Let's get into more detail about this episode. It was so freaking good. As we've already mentioned, written by Aaron Walke, who we had just the most delightful interview late last year. Like I said earlier, he said more fan service and stuff like that. For the adults, for the longtime Trek fans, was going to come. We got it in this episode. It was that, and then some, right? What did we think about not only seeing me and Hawker representing it right now, the Enterprise D bridge, the special guest stars, and how their voices were used for this episode? Let's go in the same order. Giraffe.
So I'm not a TNG fangirl. I'm actually watching TNG right now. I'm like
Oh,
somewhere
God.
in season 3. So I mean, the Enterprise D doesn't mean as much to me. I'm like Scotty, NCC 1701. No A, no B, no C, no D.
No bloody D.
No alphabet.
Yeah.
No bloody D. So I knew it was coming because I had seen the pictures, but I didn't know in what like extent, like how they would like bring that on. But like when the deltas appeared, I was trying like to read names, and there are actually some like future ones and so on. They're like some like
Oh, really?
Easter eggs. Yeah. And which made me like numbers again. But
Kelvin
when the bridge
verse.
crew appeared, yeah, I was like, okay, wait, why is there like some future delta? That's so weird. But when the bridge crew appeared, I was like, oh, who's going to voice them? Like literally, it was my first, like, but the first thing that popped into my brain. And when I saw it was like the original voices, I was like, oh, that's super cool, because I know kids will not pick up maybe on the fact that you have the different audio. I totally picked up on it.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
You can
Yeah.
totally like hear like Spock from like different like.
Yep.
It sounds like they're
Moment.
talking in a tunnel, and
Yep.
you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, peak 60s audio.
They cleaned
but
it
I
up
know-
really well,
They
but it was
did.
still there.
I
No,
can
they
tell
did.
you for a
Yeah.
fact that they did, because I've downloaded every single one of those clips today for a project I'm working on for the pod. Stay tuned.
So I was like, oh, like I was not really immersed in it because I could hear the audio, but it was so like nostalgic to have like a new dialogue made for these characters by these actors. So yeah, it was really good fan service, and it was really good. I think I don't know how you say that, like respecting the memory
Yes.
of people.
And the source
And
material
give
a
it-
bit, yeah.
Yeah, and giving them like a new role, a new credit in Star Trek. So I thought that was like fantastic, especially at the end when there's like in memory of. That was so great.
Made
And
me
to
tear up a
have,
bit.
yeah, it's really good. And again, I wanted for it to have more story, but it's the Kobayashi Maru. Like, what was I expecting? I don't know. But it was great. It was it's definitely the episode that I will rewatch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna rewatch Prodigy, to be honest. Not because I don't like it, but because I can rewatch Disco 5,000 times
Right.
before watching Prodigy. But this episode I will rewatch for sure.
Nice. And just to confirm with you guys, I wanted to get the scoop. I asked Erin this morning on Twitter via DM if that was Gates McFadden who
No, it's her,
and
yeah.
she came
Yeah.
and guest starred. She guest starred on the episode. So that was all new
Oh, that's awesome.
dialogue.
They said all the names at the end, and everyone basically played themselves
Yep.
where they had audio clips.
Yep.
It was awesome.
So, yep. Anybody else on
mean-
on this? Yeah, go ahead, Erin.
I feel like Giraffe said pretty much everything. I think that it's funny, like the shows are so different that we have right now, because we've got like Disco, we got Prodigy, and then we got Lower Decks, and Picard. Please God, let season 2 be good. And my dog barking in the background. But I like the difference between Prodigy doing the Kobayashi Maru and then seeing Boimler doing like that version, which wasn't it, but it was it. And like it tonally, it's really fun because they're both kind of funny, but like the Lower Decks is so absurd, like with the little Borg babies and everything.
Love
And
it.
then Prodigy is also absurd because he just destroys it by putting his foot up there, which would be me, I'm sure.
That's
I-
kind of
I
why I
just-
made that
I-
joke at the top of the
Yeah.
episode.
It resonated with me a lot, but I just think that it was such it is a love letter to all of us, and I think it really is that thing that can make people cross into the older shows, because it's sort of like, when you see like an Avengers movie or whatever, or like we've all seen Spider-Man, right? Like
Yeah.
so
No.
like it's been out for a minute.
It's like-
Spoilers. Doctor Strange is in the movie, and maybe if you didn't see that, you're like, oh, I want to go know more about this character. And I think that Disney does a good job of like seeding all these characters into different shows, to where, and comics do that too, right? Like
Mhm.
I wouldn't have expected this character to be in this thing, and I didn't really know a lot about them. But now that I've seen them, now I'm gonna go find out more about them. Like maybe you went and saw Shang-Chi because you like Wong and you knew Wong was gonna be in that. But now you're like, oh my god, Shang-Chi was amazing. Let me go check out the comics and see if I like those. Spoiler alert, they're a little messed up,
I
but
was gonna say, spoiler alert, don't read the original ones.
yeah,
Someone who collected the original ones as a kid. They're
yeah.
not,
Oh yeah,
they're
like
not
I
the
mean,
best.
not to get too deep in there, but it like when you watch the behind the scenes, they're like, but we're making a good movie.
What?
But
Okay,
For
but
the
like to
kids.
jump on this, so do you think that the fact that there's the Enterprise D bridge in so long into the future, like, isn't
They
it
probably have
weird
all
to
the
have
bridges.
the Kobayashi Maru on that bridge?
It's a
Is it
memorable
fan service?
bridge. It's a memorable bridge in Starfleet.
Yeah, but you don't learn on things that are like 20 years in the past if you need to
Suspend your
learn.
disbelief.
Okay,
Giraffe.
hold on,
It's
Giraffe.
about the
Hold
legacy of
wait,
Trek.
time out.
oh no,
Time out. Because
They're
one,
worms.
here we
Okay.
go. Here we go. In
Julian's
the
like, this is my favorite ship.
in the
Move.
Wrath of Khan, the bridge is literally the bridge of the Enterprise. It's of the Constitution class on Earth, right? They have more advanced starships like the Excelsior at this point with bigger and better bridges. In Star Trek '09, that bridge was nowhere near the Apple Store bridge of the Enterprise. That was like 30-year-old tech that they were training on. They're not going to give cadets the best and the brightest. That
I
costs
tell you why
that
I think they
costs
picked this
Federation
bridge?
non-money. Why?
Julian needs a TED talk.
This bridge because it is the one where you see the most people in the shortest like little view, because
That's a
there's
good point.
two pilot besides Discovery, which is
Yeah.
it's technically really old, but then they're like it doesn't exist, whatever. I think it just made the most sense for what they were trying to film.
Agreed.
Because like my favorite bridge is Voyager. So yeah.
I think it was for the nostalgia. They wouldn't
It
hit
was
the
a
most people,
question.
so they're
Don't
like,
yell
here
at
we go.
me.
I didn't yell at you. I
No,
TED
no,
I
no,
TED
just-
talked you.
He did his 15-minute TED talk about ships, and it was great. I loved every second of it. I really did.
Hawk.
Yeah, Giraffe, stop trying to take this away from me because I was in love with seeing
Oh
this.
my god.
Like Attack Giraffe Night.
This is my
What is it not
Enterprise.
Attack Giraffe
That's my
Night?
bridge.
Trying to take this away from me. It's aggressive.
It was-
Not my Enterprise.
I guess the only thing that took me a little ways out was basically the audio issue, and that I know, like, taking from little snippets here and there and that, but it was the most noticeable in Spock, because they were taking like scenes where he was probably mic'd differently, like from one distance to another, and that, I don't
From the
know
movie, you could tell.
Yeah,
I'll
you could-
tell you everything in a few minutes. Don't you worry.
But you could always tell, like, what each like line was that was mic'd differently, and that way back in the series, and you could hear a little bit of click here and there in between them, and that, so, I don't know if
The
they
click
just
is
did,
just
like,
subspace. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
That's the FBI listening in on their subspace calls.
But other than that, it was just it was great, and they grabbed they just grabbed all these people like from every series, really, from the TOS and from DS9.
No love for Enterprise.
We had Beverly. We
had
had
Beverly, yeah.
actual Bates McFadden there
Yep.
doing a guest appearance. So good. Yeah, like for fan service, for it. How can you get much better than this, right?
Yep, agreed. Britt.
I know we already mentioned No Way Home, but some people would say that was the most, I don't even know, interesting crossover, the most ambitious crossover. I say no, Star Trek Prodigy was. And that's because it really helps like shape and make the kids feel, I guess, the legacy of Star Trek, even if they haven't experienced it. And I know we've talked about that throughout the show, but I'm going to say it again. That's what it felt like. I felt like all these characters that appeared even momentarily were like honored in a way. I'm a nerd about voice acting, so like I liked that they reused audio of
I
the
do too.
actual like actors
I
from
really liked
original
it a lot,
performances.
yeah.
Because you have people who have passed away, you have people that are much older now, and trying to get people in a booth or recording from home or doing something during a pandemic nonetheless is hard enough.
Yeah.
But I really loved how you could feel that it was almost like those characters were taken from a point in time. Like
Mhm.
when Spock and Uhura
Gave me
like appeared,
goosebumps. Mhm.
I felt like they were from the past, and like we know the audio, like we can hear some of the situations, you remember what they said, but like you could feel like they were just pulled out of the Enterprise for a minute to help this kid. And then obviously you have like Gates McFadden who's there, and she had like lines that actually helped the situation. That's why it wasn't just like pre-recorded things. She was saying like she had more maneuverability with it, was more
Interaction.
free because she basically was the interactive aspect, and that's why it was like new lines that she did as Beverly, which one is really cool because she got to reprise a role that she loves that she hasn't been able to do yet. She hasn't shown up in Picard, so to have her show up on the show was awesome, and I love the energy between her and Dahl. And as much as like the audio, it's obvious that it's old audio, I feel like they did that for a reason. Like so many movies and shows do reuse audio, like especially when they have specific guests or they're doing something that is an homage.
Doctor
So,
Who.
like, I was gonna say No Way Home literally did it. They
Yep,
reused
they did.
footage from
Yep.
other things. They reused
Footage and audio. Yep.
Exactly. And most of the time you can't tell because when it's super crazy, Disney money, they like de-age people. They got crazy money to do whatever. So the fact that this Nickelodeon / Paramount Plus, wherever my mountain is, conjoined effort was able to do this with all these amazing people. Like, yes, we wish everyone could appear, but then it's less special.
Yeah.
The fact that they could do it with these specific people and they did it so well, it meshed and it worked. It was beautiful. And fan service-y as it may be, like it was the right type of fan service. I'm one of those people where sometimes if it's too much or it's just ridiculous, I kind of like just tune out. But this was the type where I was like, yes, chef's kiss. I love it. Give me more.
Nice.
It's a good
I
job,
have
crew.
breaking news.
Breaking
Because
news.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at the same time. So everybody's losing their mind with the timeline, right? Trying to do
like Mary in the
timelines of
background?
like the 17 years and all this. And Erin just like commented that apparently it's Dr. Erin MacDonald, the science
yeah.
consultant for Star Trek.
So
who,
many
by the way,
errands.
did amazing talk about like time travel in Star Trek. Amazing. I think it was at the San Diego Comic-Con, by the way, if I remember well. Apparently, she's the one that designed all the timelines for Prodigy. So
I believe it.
fasten the timelines plural for Prodigy. So fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be
Which
a
is funny because they
trip.
have no seatbelts on starships.
Nope, never.
Still don't. Doesn't matter what timeline they do not.
Not true. In the Kelvinverse, they do.
Oh,
baby.
God.
True, they do finally learn to buckle up.
Speaking of the 17-year gap, right? Janeway and Gwyn were also at the forefront of this episode. We get some more backstory about how Gwyn was created, and we figure out Janeway doesn't have things deleted. It's just behind a paywall.
No.
Paywall. Oh God. She's in the NFFTs, whatever the hell
Yeah,
they're
NFTs.
called- whatever
No,
they're
we don't
called.
talk about those on this show.
Non-fungible? You mean that thing that starts the discovery? That's
Yeah,
what makes
that.
them warp? All the fungibles?
So her memories are classified, and somehow using Gwyn and the diviner's language. Still going to figure that out later in the show. What do we think about the fact, right, that he was looking for the protostar as late, or I guess as early, who the heck knows at this point, early, as 17 years ago, which, as far as we knew up until this point, didn't quite add up. And he was dying.
12 years before Voyager comes back from the Delta Quadrant. 12 years
12
before.
years, and
Wait, what?
yeah.
How does that make
Yeah.
sense?
It takes, apparently
That's
Rob
what we're
tweeted
saying.
about this.
Timey-wimey.
Apparently Rob tweeted about this. It takes place during the Menage a Troy episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Is when the search is
Menage a
happening.
Troy.
If they showed the star date right. I don't know. He can
The
explain
star
that
date,
on
yeah.
Discord if he wants.
That's why Deanna didn't appear on the bridge. She was too
Thoughts
busy.
on this? Let's go reverse this time, Brittany.
Oh, I'm so excited because
And we gotta go a little fast. We're going overtime.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I love this whole like them throwing this idea of the fact that he was looking for the protostar for that long. Like, it kind of makes you think that he's been running this mining facility and stuff, on this planet, but like maybe then he knew about something or he was searching for a while, but you didn't think that he was on the planet this long doing the mining project. So the fact that it is that 17 years before and it lines up with how old Gwyn is, and he like made her to be able to fly the ship and everything, like I do want to know why, just like the show is suggesting. I think it's great and it's pulling my attention. Do I know more and do I have fan theories? No. I'm just on
I
for
do.
the ride at this point. I'm
Of
on for the
I
course
have
you
ride.
many
do.
theories. I have many
ahead.
theories, guys.
Well,
No, I'm last, so I'm gonna
Here.
wait.
Hawk.
Again, like I'm just not sure. This was a shock to find out that, like, Janeway's memories were encoded behind language that only, the
Diviner.
their names.
Diviners.
The diviner, the new, and
New
that
people.
She was the only one. Yeah, new people. That she was the only one to decode. What does this mean? Did he have some involvement in creating the engine? Like, I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm just happy to find out.
Have a
watch
mystery.
the next
Happy to have a
Yeah,
mystery.
it's exciting to have
Yeah.
a mystery we know nothing
Right?
about.
Yep, agreed. Draft? No, Erin.
I mean, I already said it. Like everything with. No, you know what? I already said everything I feel, and you guys have reaffirmed it. So let's move on.
I
to
like it.
Giraffe.
Giraffe, give us your
She's waiting. She's waiting for the Discovery episode. So I have
Yeah,
a theory.
is it on now?
Away.
Yep.
She's gone. So we're 5 years after Voyager comes back, right?
Yes.
5 years.
Yes.
Yes. But that protostar doesn't seem like a ship that they made 5 years after Voyager come back. Come on, this is like
She's gonna say
from
Kelvin Burst. I know it.
later. It's from later. Just the uniforms are different, guys.
Mhm.
Timey
uniforms-
wimey.
And when they're on the holodeck, the deltas that shows are some from future deltas.
That's
like, that
cool. I'm gonna
don't-
rewatch for that.
Not from like 5 years after.
No, there was an
Voyager,
all
like,
there was an all
future.
good things delta in there.
An old good thing delta in there.
Yep.
Yes, I couldn't find the name of the episode. So protostar is from after all good things. For some reason, got propulsed like back like 25 years, more than that. Like Chakotay like got lost again in the Delta Quadrant.
That's what I
And in time. Like, dude, what are you
This
doing?
jerk.
Don't
You had
give
to
that
outdo Harry
man a
Kim.
spaceship.
Who thought it was a good idea to give Chakotay a command of his own?
Right?
Me,
like,
I love
oh, imagine-
Chakotay.
Imagine Starfleet
Too.
headquarters. Oh, he's lost in the Delta Quadrant again and in
Again!
time again. Like,
And
dude,
He's
what?
gonna come back and teach us how to beat. Oh no, they already told us how to beat the Borg.
But the
Like,
real
you're gonna
give us
get
question
that
something
guy
is,
with the time police to come and get him again. Like Chakotay
real-
for real.
the real
Probably.
question is like the guy, the magic guy. What is his name? The
Q?
diviner.
Oh, the
The
diviner.
diviner. The diviner. Is he
magic
from the
man.
future, the Chakotay future? Is it from that time? When is he from? And how did they hide Prodigy and Protostar? Sorry. And where is the crew?
Maybe he
Where
has
is the
that
crew?
time. Maybe
The
he has
Delta Quadrant.
that time displacement thing going on that happened with Giorgio in Discovery. That's why he's sick.
Maybe.
Maybe they're in the
Maybe.
pattern buffers.
Yep.
Yeah,
you can hide
time
people in the
travel
pattern
can make
buffer
you very
now.
sick.
Yes, they're in the pattern buffer.
Nice
they're
save,
gonna drink
Giraffe.
green. Okay.
What a
so
time to
that's,
And now they're not in the
I'm
Delta
very
Quadrant.
excited.
Now they're in the Gamma Quadrant.
Yay! More
Mhm.
problems.
Wild.
Yeah,
Finally, oh no, sorry, Erin. No, that was it. Erin, you abstained, right? You're like, you're not going.
I already said it.
Yeah. Finally, right, Janeway's memories uncover what I at least thought for a bit, and that was Chakotay is the captain of the Protostar. We finally get Robert Beltran back. He's the captain now. Where are we on the reveal, and where do you think it's leading?
Loved it. It was great. It was super fun. I loved Janeway's reaction to it, as I said previously. I want to know if he's still stuck there because I think that's hilarious. And yeah, let's see if the Chakotay Janeway thing can finally get off the I don't know, wagon now that she's not really a person. She's a hologram.
You want some
Yeah, that
hologram
sounds
love?
bad.
Yep.
I'm just saying,
Oh,
Janeway
yeah.
could never do it because it would have been an abuse of power, and like we would still be talking about
I
how
disagree.
messed up that was.
Disagree.
No, well, listen, you're a guy. I'm telling you from a female perspective. And Kate Mulgrews talked about this. They would have lost all respect for her, and I 100% agree.
Yeah,
I
fair.
think that the only way that
Absolutely.
could
How low
did they have
can you
chemistry?
go?
Yes. Should they explore it when they're not direct reports? Yes. Did she keep it locked up the way she should have? Hell yes.
All right.
Done.
All right.
Next person.
Beep.
That's Giraffe. Oh no, sorry. You went out of order. Shame on you. No, I'm kidding.
I was excited.
That's fair. I like the
Why?
excitement. Go ahead.
Eric is not here. I hope I could have a pod without anybody attacking me, but apparently it's not possible.
I haven't attacked you yet.
True, you never do.
I've been chilling. I'm like, Uhura. What's up?
Anybody else on the Chakotay reveal and where you think
I
it's
liked
leading?
the timing of it, and I thought it was well done. But that just goes with like the pacing and the writing that
Yeah.
I've just been complimenting too much. So
Great reveal. I'm still confused about the timeline on that because it didn't look like
Me
an older
too.
Chakotay, right?
Yep.
but that's the fun of
Um,
Star Trek now. It's like Doctor Who with the timelines anymore, and you're just like, I'm here for it. Wherever we're going,
Mhm.
whenever we are, we're boldly going.
Near, far,
Far,
Navarre, wherever you are.
ever, never.
Oh, I would listen to that song. Ooh, we should get Bonnie to make that song.
Hey, there you go.
Yes.
We're gonna get into a quick Easter egg hunt, and I'm just gonna start this thing off because I have a lot to say.
I
If
have
you
one.
Giraffe
thought,
has something to say. Giraffe looks like she
I have
might
one I
have.
love.
if you
Someone.
thought that this was like maybe 4 or 5 episodes that they took audio from all these characters, you would be wrong. You ready for this list? Here we go.
83.
Fasten those seatbelts again. For Uhura, we had TOS episode 108, Miri. We had TOS episode 216, The Gamesters of Triskelion. We had, I don't have the number right now, it's down here somewhere, Balance of Terror, a great TOS episode. For Odo, we had Trials and Tribulations. We had Shadow Play. We had Heart of Stone. We had Things Past. I had them in order of like when I had to download them. So I had Shadow Play again. They took lines, like multiple lines from the same episode for some. Spock, it being his birthday, had the most.
Yeah.
The Immunity Syndrome, Miri, Balance of Terror, The Enterprise Incident, The Ultimate Computer, Journey to Babel, Doomsday Machine, The Changeling, Obsession, and The Enemy Within. And then Scotty, everything was from Relics. Obviously, Gates McFadden did all her own lines, and the Kobayashi Maru stuff was ripped right from Wrath of Khan. So there you
Question.
have it. Yes.
Was this listed in the credits or did you just figure this out?
At first, I literally typed the quotes into Google and figured it out all on my own until I figured out that Den of Geek had already beaten me to it. So I used
As
They're
usual.
fast.
so I used part of their list as a reference and to get the downloads for it. But I did most of it on my own, which is why
Can I
it took
mention my
hours.
favorite Easter egg,
Yes,
which
please.
could have been audio, but then wasn't because they had the new actors
Yep.
say it?
Yep.
Fire everything!
Oh yeah,
As
that
soon
was
as
so
Doll
funny.
said that, I kid you not, I laughed so hard I almost cried. Like I just thought that was amazing because I would quote that all the time from Star Trek 09, and it was just Kelvinverse approved. See,
Wait, Giraffe, you
did
were,
you
like,
get it?
doing
There was
this
Calvin
earlier.
verse when he played the music. That was a little James
Oh,
Kirk
yeah.
action there, like the beats
Oh yeah,
and
the
shouting.
whole thing,
Yep.
the chaos was pure Kelvinverse. I loved it.
Yeah, there was
But when
Uhura
he yelled
from
fire
Wrath of
everything.
Khan is too. And why relate? And yes, Star Trek 09 Calvin verse. Not Spock's speech is not from Star Trek 2009. Believe it or not, it is from. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it on the list. Sorry, most of Spock's quotes later in the episode are from Unification.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah, that's the long like.
No, that's Enemy Within. The long one is Enemy Within.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
With Crazy Kirk. Yeah,
Crazy Kirk.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Wrath of Khan, just a quick one that skydiving in SETI Alpha 5.
No one should skydive on SETI Alpha 5.
Yeah.
That made me laugh so much. It was like skydiving
Serious?
and SETI Alpha 5. I was like,
Check your Twitter feeds tomorrow, folks.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Any other Easter eggs? Giraffe's frozen in the best possible
Yeah, I was gonna
way.
say, I
Yeah.
think Giraffe has something,
Yeah,
but she's frozen
yeah,
in like a
absolutely. Come on. There's like I'm frozen.
You were
What?
for a
No,
second.
You're good. Yeah,
You're-
you're back. You're back.
This
You're
is
good.
Ah, okay.
You were
There's
frozen like this.
the Qatarian game with like the
The game.
thing, you know.
The
Yeah,
game,
the
I forgot
game.
about the
Interesting,
Okay.
interesting,
little cones
interesting
and discs.
Easter egg to put in a kids show, knowing what that
Right? I was
replicates,
like,
just saying.
Okay,
Bold
Prodigy, I
choice.
see you. Second, I see you, Prodigy. The Khalifi on Amok Time with the Amok
I
Time
love that.
music and the Lear Pass. I was like, so we're murdering each other for what?
Janeway's love
Okay.
of Jane Eyre.
Yep.
Janeway loves
I
of
loved all the
Jane Eyre.
holodeck stuff. It was
She
so
brought
good.
in her Harlequin romance novel.
Yeah. I think so. I'm not sure of that because I couldn't see, but there are like other holodeck program that are listed when they go in, and I think there's the weird Neelix Resort one from Voyager.
Oh, that's funny.
Somebody can check that because I
Okay.
saw
No,
it
no,
like
see
super
that
fast.
list.
That's the one right before they hit Kobayashi Maru is the resort one.
Yeah,
Because I
it
thought they
was,
were going to
yeah.
click it.
One,
And I
okay,
was so
yeah.
hyped for it. And then he was just like, ooh, Kobayashi Maru. What's that?
Proton in there, that'd be cool.
Captain
I
Proton.
took notes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes. There's the deltas. We talked about this, and the Klingon proverb when he's like, "Revenge is a dish best served cold."
Yep, served
I don't
cold.
remember from where it is, but it's from somewhere in Star Trek.
Because it's
Yep.
Find me
from
the-
Shakespeare. And it's
Yeah.
whenever, every time they're talking to the Klingons, they're always quoting Shakespeare.
It's General Chang, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, General
can
Chang.
we can the coffee mug?
No, it's not the Klingons. It's Wrath of Khan. It's
Wrath of Khan,
Khan.
yeah.
Yeah, Khan says revenge is a dish best served cold, and it is very
Thank you.
cold.
Oh,
in
okay, that's that one
space.
then.
Yes. Sorry.
The Voyager coffee mug. Does that count?
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely.
I think
And
every
that's-
time she
that's
sips
more
coffee
proof
or
that
talks
she's
about it,
like
it counts.
her.
We gotta go.
Like,
Keep going,
why
let's
is a
go.
hologram doing that? It's so great.
I'm ready.
Keep it going, keep
did
it
we
going.
Say the, yeah. Okay. Kelvin verse with the music and chaos. We said that. What else? Oh, I have a question. The Dracula one, the holodeck.
was
Is that from
hilarious.
anywhere?
I think
Is
it was
that
just
from
fun.
Anywhere?
I think it's just
That's
Dracula.
funny.
I think it's just
Yeah.
Dracula.
I think it was just for the kids. So they're
Dracula.
like, ooh,
Yep.
we can fight Dracula.
I just want to say that I deeply appreciated Murph yelling in the snow of Endor Year 4.
Right.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. I don't know if it's a reference to anything, but I really liked it. And that's it for me. That's all the Easter eggs that I found.
Any other Easter eggs?
The fact that another Klingon ship appeared after he destroyed the first three, which was the exact same thing that happened to me when I played the Kobayashi Maru test, and I got like 17 minutes in and I finally died.
Aww.
So I was like, I
Ah.
feel you, doll.
That's good, though.
I reached
That
the
is
same
good.
point. Yeah. I went very far. I don't think you can win that game, but I went very far.
Apparently, if you
Like
like 2 or 3
7
people,
can
yeah,
win.
yeah. Guys, let's very quickly do our rating out of 10 ejected warp cores. Same order. I'll start with you, Giraffe.
10/10. It was excellent.
It was
Very
great.
good Prodigy. It's my favorite Prodigy so far. Like, I loved it.
Erin.
Great. I'm ready for my progeny.
Whoa. I'm not going to tell your husband you said that.
I will. Don't worry.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's bad or anything. It was really good, but I want to leave room for the future.
Nice. Fair. Huck.
10 out of 10. I don't care about room for the future in that. This was a great episode.
Stop trying to take this away from me.
And
This
for-
from me.
You know why this is such a good kid show and for adults and that? Because they don't talk down to their audience.
Nope. Love it. Brittany.
10 out of 10 for all the reasons I previously stated.
10-10. 10-10. 10-4.
10.
10-10.
10-10.
Awesome episode. Best episode of Prodigy yet. Loved it. Congratulations to the whole crew, the animation crew, the writing crew, the directing crew, everybody, the voice cast. It rocked. Haven gave it an 11 out of 10. Let's move on. Yeah, turn it up to 11 to the subspace, to poll, and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
There she is. And we asked, it is our first subspace poll of 2022. We asked the Twitterverse what they thought of Prodigy 106, Kobayashi, and Brittany. You've made these fun and puntastic for me. Hit me.
I did. So 64% said an Odo to the greats. 24% said Chakotay yay. 4% said the only way out is chaos. And 8% said a no-win scenario.
Nice. Pretty
Did you
good.
like 'em?
I
made
did.
them pretty funny.
You did. I'm kind of sad you got rid of my one. What was it?
Wonderful.
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 I did say that was the one I
You
liked.
did. You did though. You
But
did.
I already made my own list before I saw yours, and I was like, Nope.
All right, let's go in reverse for our mailbag, and we actually have one bit of Discovery mailbag from last week. Brittany, why don't you start, please?
Is this Butch Lapoo?
It is, yep.
I'm adding the C back in there.
Thank you.
Okay, Butch Lapue wrote about last week's Discovery. Nothing new or different to say here since I just saw it last night. I did, however, watch it again after the wife went to bed. I knew since Zora is valued and important, they would find a way to not kick her out. Asking her to join Starfleet was unexpected for me, and I liked it. Book going rogue, however, totally predictable. David Ajala has done a masterful job with his eyes alone this season, looking like a man possessed with pain and vengeance. It did not occur to me while watching that he was being played, but I don't doubt others' theory in that regard at all. I also did not see it coming that the new spore drive would be as portable as a picnic basket.
I like that.
Overall, I thought... Yeah, right? I like that too. Overall, I thought it was a well-done episode. Glad to see... Is it Jen Doye?
I think it's in General Ndoye.
Okay, Jen
General
Ndoye. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what is Jen? Is that a name? Yeah, General Ndoye from Earth, and not surprised they were not so eager to jump back in with the feds.
Dig it. Thank
Hashtag
you.
The feds.
The feds.
Indeed. Let's move right along. Hawk, Joe's mailbag.
Joe wrote, "This was a perfect episode to return on. I like to see Dahl seems to be I like that Dahl seems to be finally learning. I love that they had Spock, Scotty, Uhura, Odo, and Dr. Crusher. That was so cool, and seeing Enterprise D and the bridge was awesome." I agree, Joe.
I agree too. Very good. Who's up next? Erin, you have Havens.
All right. Haven wrote, "I love this episode, hearing the voices of the original crew and Odo and Crusher. It was, in my opinion, the best way to start 2022. Agreed.
Agreed.
I do have some serious questions for the timeline, but as I said last week, for every single answer, 47 more questions arise, and I agree that does happen. Does anyone have a time machine? So can I go watch the next week's episode? I love this series. It's truly one doll full."
Hey, someone used my pun. Yay.
Yay!
Awesome. And then Giraffe, you want to read Eric Davis's?
Eric Davis wrote, whoever is the sound mixer, give that person a raise. But in seriousness, having Dahl interact with the greats and legends like that, it makes me humble at the legacy of Star Trek. I hope parents watching this episode with their children got as excited telling them about the greats as
So
I think
excited.
I would have if I had kids. To the podcast, Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, and Happy New Year, Eric. And then I'll close it out with Ensign Davies. So Chakotay made a Janeway hologram to keep him company. This was a great.
Thank you. That was
Yep.
exactly what
I
I
didn't know if
thought.
we could
That was
talk
like,
about that.
This
I
was.
see you.
Wow.
This was a great episode. Much like the Advent calendar, a bit TOS heavy. True.
What? What?
He's not wrong, and you know it.
He's like, they didn't pull
What?
it every show.
I loved seeing that bridge again. The only thing missing for me was Geordi when Dahl asked for a new engineer. Come on, it's his ship. I kind of agree with that, actually. Fair point.
I agree.
I agree.
That
Fair
is true.
point. Real quick, before we go, Raleigh came in with a late rating. He too gives it a 10 out of 10, but I'll give it 11 out of 10 if we find out Chakotay is stranded. Oh, I love it. I love it. Guys, I can't wait for more Prodigy next week. 107. That's going to do it for tonight's show. We did this at the end of each Prodigy podcast when it was still on a few months ago, and then it didn't take off of Discovery, but we're going to try it again tonight. Join us directly following this pod on our Discord, let's say 11:10 Eastern, for a encore rewatch of Kobayashi. Let's watch this one together and nerd out about all the fun stuff. Join us there after the pod. We will see you next week for episode 107 of Star Trek Prodigy. For Erin, for Hawk, for Giraffe, for Brittany, I am Julian. We say live long and prosper. Maj Ram. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.